we should just note that I guess it was yesterday, was the 10th anniversary of the implosion of Bear Stearns. On that day, 12 Democrats, I'm speaking of yesterday, joined the Republicans in rolling back, and we spoke about this a week or two ago with David Dayen, on a vote 67-31, essentially rolling back a huge portion of Dodd-Frank. As of now, and until this bill is signed, and it will be ultimately, banks with more than $50 billion in assets are considered too big to fail, which means that they're subject to the toughest level of regulations. I still think that we could have done something very differently structurally that would have been better, but something is better than nothing, including a yearly stress test to prove they could survive another period of economic turmoil. The Senate bill would raise that threshold to $250 billion in assets. So American Express, Ally Financial, Barclays will escape the extra regulatory scrutiny, as well as large regional banks big enough to name a stadium, i.e. stadium banks. And if you are more interested in that legislation and why it's so dangerous, go back and listen to David Dayen from about 2 weeks ago. I remember this week quite vividly from 2008. There was an investor in Air America who worked at Bear Stearns and was not going to end up working there for much longer, obviously. But I remember going into his office to talk to him about it, about what was going on in Air America, because it was a mess at that time, like it was the rest of the time. And I sat in his office and I said, dude, I'm hearing a lot. I remember looking at all the swag that was there, the Bear Stearns swag, and I was going to grab some because it was the first time I had been in, I guess I had been in one of those places 20 years earlier. And I said, I'm hearing a lot about how you guys might be in trouble. That there's because it was out there. And he's like, no way. I just went into that corner office and talked to them about buying the debt. I can't remember what it was, the debt of the National Bank of El Salvador or whatever. I can't remember. And he said they would have never said yes if we were in trouble. And then I think literally 2 days later, there were chains on the door. Wow. So the issue is with these bankers, they may think it's a good idea to get unshackled by these regulations. In fact, I spoke to a banker the other day, and she was saying that, yeah, no, there's no reason to not allow these people the profitability. And in fact, it's going to draw business away from the shadow banking industry, which is really problematic. And I know they all think it makes sense, but time and time again, we have seen that when they are unshackled, they run into problems, and their problems become our problems very, very quickly. So this is bad stuff. And the Democrats, just for the record, who voted in favor of this, where is my list here? It's right here in my hands. Mark Warner. Oh, let's do this. My soundboard is broken. It's done. This thing it's junked. Oh, thank you. Mark Warner, John Tester, Tim Kaine, Heidi Heitkamp, Joe Donnelly, Doug Jones, Michael Bennett, Bill Nelson, Debbie Stabenow, Gary Peters, Maggie Hassan, Janine Shaheen, Chris Coons, Tom Carper, Claire McCaskill, Joe Manchin, and independent Angus King. Ladies and gentlemen, there you are. There you are.